don't know. I just remember when we were in the sitting in the waiting area, that's what he said, that they had, taken a lot of formula out of her lungs at the time.
That seems strange. In fact, I brought a copy of that investigation here. We'll look at that in a few minutes and see if there's anything. I started getting interested in this after I talked to you the last time, and coincidentally, at about the same time, I read an article as part of my research into this about a finding that helps protect parents like yourself who have children and suspect that it's either historical or SIDS deaths or apnea problems or family type traits that are passed on. There's a test they have now using a gene testing with DNA that allows a doctor to predict whether or not a child will have SIDS-related problems or this apnea problem. It's really pretty neat. It really helps out.
Must just be recently then,
just a couple months ago when I first started doing this. At any rate, there's a genetic defect in the DNA that allows is only hampers children for the first few months. What's the ages where kids can die of SIDS or usually do?
It's usually in the first year.
First year, yeah. This genetic defect doesn't have any an effect on kids after they're a year old. Mm-hmm. So it's. Had you heard about this this prediction ability?
No, that would be nice.
Yeah, well, they can do that now. They can, like if you had another child, or y'all plan on having any more children?
No, he had a vasectomy, so because we thought there's something wrong, because we didn't know.
Did he have a vasectomy?
Yeah, April or May this year. I'm not sure. Because we had really very much wanted to try for one more time.
Did he have that reversed?
He had it reversed once.
Oh, he had a vasectomy before and then reversed it?
Yeah, because he had the vasectomy after Christina was born, and then after she died, he had it reversed.
Whose idea was this?
It was kind of both of ours.
Y'all talked about it?
Yeah.
There's a downside to this recent discovery. Mm-hmm. Can you pick out any downsides? Can you come up with any bad sides to this sort of finding?
Well, because they would rule out whether or not, I guess they had the genes were there.
Mm-hmm. In the autopsy on Holly, I've watched several autopsies. I don't want to bore you with the details of an autopsy, but they take samples and they preserve samples of tissue from people that are autopsied. In Christina's death, there was some blood drawn, some blood work done, and those things were archived as well. Those tissue samples have been checked for this DNA problem, and they have on Christina's anyway. Holly's tests aren't back yet. Christina's death has been ruled out as not a SIDS death. So we need to talk about what happened to her, and not necessarily so much what happened to her, but why these things happened to her. We see the same as I go back and look through your life and the things that have happened to you in the past. I guess I almost sense that perhaps what's happened to you in the past has had something to do with Christina's death and her not being around anymore.
I don't understand how that would happen.
Well, I talked to Dr. Gibson, and he tells me that you said the same thing to him one time. That perhaps the rape by this dentist had something to do with Christina's death.
Yeah, I kind of felt that way.
Can we explore that just a little bit? Mm-hmm. And what makes you think that?
Because a lot of the, I can just remember, like all the medicine used, like I said, I knew one of them was nitrous oxide, I don't know what the other one was. And then I can remember like the dental instruments he used. I can remember like 2 or 3 of them, I don't know what they were. It's like that he used inside of me, like he stuck those in there first. And I always felt that that damaged somebody, that it caused, some type of problems or things like that.
Well, I think it caused some problems. I really think it caused some problems. But I don't think it caused any physical problems. I think it caused some severe emotional problems. And some very real some emotional problems. Do you ever get that impression?
Well, sure, it's been, it's always caused emotional problems, It's not something I'm ever going to forget.
No, it's not. It's something that you wouldn't want to happen to anybody else.
Right.
Is that right?
Sure.
How would you feel about your daughter growing up and having to be subjected to something like that? Would that be?
I never really thought about it that way.
No.
No.
If I were in your shoes, I'd be afraid. I would want a daughter of mine to be subjected to that sort of thing.
I guess I never really thought about that aspect of it. You think about the kids and you wonder what it's going to be like for them, and with all the things that are going on and in society and all that, you worry about that. But I never remember worrying about one particular thing that that I wanted to shield any of them from.
Dr. Gibson tells me that you were in his office the morning that Christina died.
He was at the hospital. We had to pick up a last report or something.
And talk to him?
Yeah.
About? Do you remember what about? Because he remembers.
Gosh, I can remember going to the hospital because it was kind of frustrating because we couldn't get the answer to the last test. And he found the answers out for us. But I can't really remember what we talked about.
He remembers you talking about problems that may come up with Christina. And what if questions. What if she develops some of the same problems or symptoms that Holly had? What if she what if she doesn't breathe properly? And you talked to him also about future children, didn't you? Do you remember that?
I can remember, yeah, we can remember talking to him about future children. It's like what's going to happen with future children and things like that. I do remember that conversation. I don't know when it took place or anything.
Do you remember where Timothy was when Christina died?
It seemed like he went out to get something, but he was gone like 5 minutes. He wasn't gone very long. Or he might even been right outside. I don't remember for sure.
Do you remember some family trauma right about the same time? Wasn't he preparing to go somewhere?
Not that I can remember, but it's
He's going to go TDY here shortly. How do you feel about him going TDY? Or how did you feel back then about him going TDY?
I never really liked it, and I don't think nobody likes it.
I don't think you did either.
Yeah.
I think it caused some real problems for you.
But I learned to accept that it was part of his...
Not Cheri, I don't think you really accepted it.
I mean, I'm speaking from now, I don't know about then.
It seems to me that when I go back and look at all the things that happened in your life, that one of the traumatic things that I think you probably should have listed when we first started talking is Tim leaving.
See, I guess I don't think about that, because it doesn't bother me. I've come to realize, it's a part of his...
Was he TDY when you were raped?
Gosh, I don't remember. I want to say no. I want to say he was working second shift then. We were going 3 to 11, but I can't be sure because I don't remember.
Tell me again how you think that this rape may have affected you or may have affected Christina's death. There were some real problems inside, right? About how you deal with people.
I don't know how it would have affected her death is what I was trying to think of.
You told Dr. Gibson what it did. Here's what we've got. Okay, we've got Christina's death. And a severe bout with Nicholas that at first is attributed to a near Sid's death. But neither one of their tissue samples or blood samples, which were tested for this DNA defect, come back to Sid's death or Sid's near death. So we have to start thinking about, well, what else could have happened to Christina? What else could have happened to Nicholas? And it all comes back to you. It all comes back to you being alone with Christina and you being alone with Nicholas at the time of these two incidents. Do you know much about trials and evidence and things like that? Do you know what circumstantial evidence is?
A little bit.